Hey everyone, I'm here just at home on my off day. It is November 4th at 2:15 a.m. I'm cooking, I'm trying to multitask. I like to keep my podcast episodes as authentic as possible. I was just sitting here thinking and, kind of just in my head about a little bit of things and the topic of grief. I was sitting here thinking kind of just like, I'm not grief ridden right now, I would say right now, because that can always change depending on the mood and how I'm feeling, what I'm going through at the time. Blase, right? Sorry. But I was just sitting here thinking, like, I have a lot of guilt and shame right now, and it's because I feel guilt for being alive, obviously, and to have to live this life without my brother. He's here. I know that for a fact. But in his physical and his present form, it's not. He's not here physically, in my understanding, and so I have a lot of guilt in regards to still living life and being here and experiencing the fruits of my labor and the joy that comes with happiness and love and prosperity. Having to still be able to experience all of this, I feel guilty because I want my brother, and I feel like my brother was supposed to. There we go. Keyword supposed to, should. Expectations is kind of one. That's for another episode. But I have all these feelings of guilt because I'm still living. They call it survivor's guilt, and at the same time I have shame. Like, I'm ashamed because I wasn't able to help my brother live longer. I'm still awaiting the results from the autopsy, kind of going into detail as to what happened. They told us it's going to be 6 months until we figure something out, right? So in the meantime, I'm working my ass off to heal and to make sure that I'm okay, to come to the terms to accept the fact that, he's gone. And with that being said, I feel like it's a sign for us to have to wait this long, because it gives us time to kind of feel all the things that we need, right? I'll feel all the shame and the anger and the sadness and the emptiness and the loneliness that comes with experiencing the loss of him, my brother. And right now, I'm just thinking, like, what was it? I'm looking back and reflecting on the past month or 2 months or this past year, as to what could have led him to, leave this earth. And there are certain moments I'm reflecting back and I'm just like, damn, like, I should have tried harder. I should have inspected. I should have. In the end, I was thinking, like, did he know? Like, spiritually, right? Did he spiritually know that, this is where he's at? He lived his life the way he needed to. And just putting all the facts aside, putting everything aside for, like, emotions and all of this, looking at the facts, like, he lived his life to the fullest. He lived his life the way that people wish they could. If I could do this, if I didn't have that, like, the reasoning or the excuses as to why one can't do something, right? And so for me, I'm like, putting all the emotions aside, my brother lived like it was his last life. And he lived to the fullest. So obviously somewhere down below or as above, when we come back to this earth, or when we decide to say, hey, I'm gonna live as a human again, we have to have this understanding of how our life is going to be, right? That's where I'm coming to. Those who know me and who followed me since I started actually doing podcasts understand and know that I was already diving into my spiritual side of my life, the aspects that lead one to get in touch with their higher self, and understanding the fact that it's so much bigger than us, right? So much bigger than us. So as I sit here and try to understand life and what it has to entail, like, everybody knows the life I'm living. I'm wanting to heal people. I want to help people find out who they are, not just on a physical aspect, on this, or like what their mission is for this earth, right? So as I'm thinking, I'm like, we have to have some type of idea. I mean, granted, if we're living unconsciously and not necessarily being aware of how we are showing up in this present world, there's going to be a lot of, ups and downs and rounds and rounds. But then you have to keep in mind that society has a lot to play in a lot of stuff too. And we gotta remember that for sure, off top 100%. Shout out to the government. So a lot of stuff has a huge part to play in here. And for me, I don't have any answers. I go off of my intuition. I go off of my gut feeling. I go off of what I know, what I've experienced, what I've learned, what I've felt, what I've heard, what I've seen, what I've touched, what I've experienced. And I have to believe that his transition, his ascending, had a purpose, had a reason. Whether it was for the world, whether it was for my family, whether it was for me or his friends, or for just everyone that knew him, there was the reason. And I have to believe that. We all have to believe that, right? We don't have to, but we should. Because then if we don't, for me, speaking for myself, if I don't believe this, my life will be filled with hatred, with anger, with sorrow, with pain, negativity, and all the things that just aren't helpful in life for me right now at this point. So then I go to think, what is the meaning? Then I go to think again, why am I curious on what the meaning is? Because I will never know. We're going to get reports back. We're going to get information back in regards to, his COD, his cause of death, right? We all need that answer, like, oh, it was an aneurysm, or oh, it was a stroke, or it was COVID, the vaccines fucked everything up, blah, 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 blah. In the end of the day, what are these results going to do? They're going to cause more heartache. They're going to give closure. They're going to bring acceptance to those who need it. But what is it truly, really going to do for you? What is that answer going to do? What is it going to change? Nothing. My brother's gone physically. He left and was like, I'm out, y'all. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go travel and do all the shit that I want to do because that's what I want to do. I've been here before. I know what's up. He lived that kind of life to where he already knew what was up. He was a very, very high spirit person. Very intelligent. I don't want to blame it on him being a Capricorn or anything, but individually, he had his, everybody has their ups and their downs and their flaws and all, but that's what makes us all beautiful, right? So right now, I'm doing a lot of research and going into my spirituality and going to my ancestry. I'm kind of understanding who I am as an individual because I've lost sight of it. Granted, not lost sight of it, but now it's time to revamp and have more understanding, because now my twin is physically not here. I still feel energy off top is already here. It's still here. But I don't want him to be here. I want him to be able to ascend and move forward. So there's there's things I gotta do to make sure that, he is passing and living in peace and abundance and joy and happiness and all the things that one wishes to achieve during life. Which is why I'm searching for that now, so I don't have to wait till later. But I went on a tangent and I forgot. And I'm also cooking, so now I'm like all over the place. But in the end, I want you all to know that right now I am diving deep into myself and revamping who I am, who I keep in my circle, what my mission is, what I want to do, what makes me happy, all these things in the midst of chaos. Or actually, I'm kind of out of the chaos a little bit for right now, I can say. And I just want you all to know that even with grief being present, grief is natural. We lost sight of what's natural and what's to come and what's not to come. We lost sight of that. And because of we losing sight of that, when we experience loss or grief or pain like this, we get sidetracked, we get thrown off course, and we forget that this is a natural thing. However, it is unnatural because he was young. He's gone before parents, before grandparents, so that's where the unnatural part comes in, However, death itself is natural. And it sucks. And it fucking sucks. Like, one day I'm fine, the next I'm not. The one day I'm like on top of the world, and one day I'm under it. Like, it's a day by day, moment by moment experience and process that we all have to go through. And we forget that because we're so instant gratification driven to where, like, we forget. We truly do forget that this is a natural part of life. And I'm his sister. I am his twin. Legit, like, twin. I learned that it takes, I forgot how many years it takes for a woman's body to heal after giving birth. Within that time frame, my brother, a year and a half apart. When we are a year and a half apart, we still are sharing the same body fluids that were created to create me. And then he was created, so technically, we are fucking twins. Biologically, we are fucking twins. And it's insane. It's fucking insane, because I've always knew. Everybody who met us knew. Like, I could have sworn y'all were twins. I'm like, we pretty much are. Like, don't discredit, because we weren't born at the same time does not mean we were not twins. But if I myself, his twin, can fight to get through this and can fight to make sure that my life does not end here, that there is still so much to live for, then so can you. Even if you haven't experienced grief, loss, and all these pains that come with this, or any type of anything, you can get there. There is a light at not to sound cliche. Hold on, let me pause right there. Not to sound cliche, but there is a light after every tunnel, dark tunnel too. It could be the darkest of the darkest. There has to be a reason for us to keep pushing forward. There is always a reason. Find that reason. Live for that reason. And then die for that reason. I've experienced death once before, twice actually. 2 close people, in my life. Now it's 3. This is the one that hit home the most, obviously. But I didn't realize how much it can really change your perception and how much this is actually real. Death is real. Life is real. And in order for us to continue to be okay and live with it, we have to find that reason. We have to push for that reason. We have to want that reason. And I'm still cooking, yes. Well, what's yours?